Where are we at, Gabby?
At the museum.
Wait, tell mommy, where are we?
We're at the museum.
Yes, we're at the museum.
Hi guys, so welcome back to another vlog with Gabby and me. Today's adventure is going to be to the Children's Museum, and yes, it is going to be a voiceover. I decided that for a couple of the videos where Gabby and I are just spending quality time, I would just do a voiceover. Since I'm preparing for the podcast, I don't want to stall some of the things that I enjoy talking about when it comes to motherhood. And if there are other mothers that are listening, I don't want them to have to wait to get details about this beautiful journey of motherhood. So I decided to incorporate our experiences in this way. I hope that you're enjoying. I hope that it's inspiring, and I hope that you know as a mother that the journey is a beautiful journey and it will continue to grow and elevate so long as you continue to move forward, to continue to try, and continue to ask for help when needed. The gift of motherhood is one that takes a village, and that's no cliche. So make sure, as I always say, that you're getting time to maintain your mental health and your well-being, and that you're pouring into the cup of the little one that will lead in years to come. So as I mentioned, today Gabby and I are at the Children's Museum, and today's time was just about the two of us being together and going on an explorative journey. Gabrielle is very adventurous, as I always mention to you guys. She enjoys learning new things, and one of the things that I have been intentional about is honing in on the things that she loves and making sure that I'm doing them very often. I noticed that with children, they have a lot of desires and aspirations. And it's very important for us to pay attention to our children and really understand what it is that they love and who they are as individuals. This is a constant thing, and it takes intentionality. It takes time. And it takes for you to be available to your children so that you can understand their strengths and their weaknesses. In this particular clip, Gabby and I were doing some building, and things were starting to get complicated. So Gabby wanted to go and do something else. For me as a mother, this was a learning opportunity for me to step in. One, to enjoy this opportunity with Gabrielle. Two, to demonstrate to Gabrielle that it can be done. And three, for me to teach Gabrielle to finish what she starts, even when things seem to get difficult. The gift of motherhood is a learning experience for not only the child, but also for the mother. There's no special handbook, there's no play guide, and it never really goes the way that you plan. So as the driver, as the pilot of the adventure, you have to remain steadfast, you have to be a visionary, you have to be alert, and a lot of things that you've heard are not cliches. A mother is a doctor. She is a teacher. She is a nurturer. She is a firefighter. She is all things. She is the greatest advocate. And though this should be dual for mother and father, sometimes it doesn't always happen that way. So speaking from the perspective of a single mom, I carry all of those roles. And oftentimes I get exhausted, I'm tired, but the most important thing is that I'm showing up for my child. So despite the many hats that I wear, one of my biggest jobs and most important jobs is ensuring that I have the proper amount of energy to pour into my daughter. And that is always first for me. So despite exhaustion, despite confusion, despite anxieties, every ounce that's left in my cup belongs to Gabrielle. And so when I refill that cup, I always make sure that she gets the first sip. I do it with gratitude. I do it with love. And I do it knowing that I'm creating a strong being that's going to one day be a phenomenal woman, a phenomenal mother, a charismatic human being, and that she's going to pour greatness back into the community as mommy has always taught her to do. So I sow the seeds of love and gratitude into my daughter so that she can pour it back into the world. I remember as a young child, my mom used to always talk about sowing seeds, sowing seeds, sowing seeds. And that stuck with me even into adulthood, making sure that I'm sowing seeds into this world that will yield beautiful fruits. Well, one of the greatest seeds that I have sown, or the greatest seeds that I am sowing, are into my daughter. A child is the most fertile ground that you will ever find. The soil is ripe and it's prepared to yield fruit. It's a fresh harvest. It's delicate. And you have to be cautious of the things that you pour into. So it is my job and my privilege to pour and water this beautiful flower, this beautiful human being filled with possibilities, limitlessness, charisma, love, and joy. I often look at Gabrielle in amazement, not because I ever thought she wasn't capable, but because I am so ecstatic about how capable she actually is. The world is changing and constantly evolving. And the job to create decent human beings to lead this world can be a challenge. You want to pour into them positive ideas and positive energies, but you also want them to recognize that this world may not always yield back to them exactly what they give. So how exactly do you explain that to a child? My friend and I were having a conversation. She was saying that she told one of the children that's very close to her, she told them to be nice. And it reminded me of, as I've been raising Gabrielle, I've been teaching her to be nice. And I had to correct myself because in all situations, you can't just be nice. We have to give realistic reasoning to our children and explain to them situations in the way they should approach those situations. So after I had that experience with Gabrielle, I started to tell Gabrielle examples of when she should be nice, examples of when she needed to be assertive. I think that always raising our children to be nice can set them up to be passive, and it can set them up for heartbreak. So teaching children to just be nice is not enough. Remember to teach them to be their self, to be bold, to be fearless, to be nice, to be kind, but to always stand liberated in what's right.